Welcome to TJ's fly tying bench. I'm going to tie a salt and pepper Sakasa Kebari. I'm going to do what I consider the gourmet version, which means I'm going to tie in at the same time two hackle. One a black feather and one a white feather. I think it looks a little bit nicer that way. It takes longer. Tying in two hackle at the same time is a bit difficult. You can get away with just using straight black hackle if you want what I consider a more peppery salt and pepper Kebari, or a complete white hackle if you want something more salty or more light for the fish if they're going after lighter flies. Or you can get a black and white grizzly hackle, and that's the easiest way to do it. But today I'm going to tie in a black and white. I think it gives it a little bit more distinctive look. Complete, black feathers and black feathers. The whole feather is that way, so it looks a little bit more distinctive. So anyway, white thread. And my second bobbin has black thread. Of course, I got the regular tools, hackle pliers, little needle, some glue. All the basics to basically tie a fly. So I'm going to start out by getting my white thread started. And I think I'll take my glasses off for this. Probably going to see the side of my head. I'm going blind as I get older. And after I do quite a few wraps, I'll cut off this little tag end here. And I wrap pretty far into the bend of the hook, about that far. Now I'm going to start tying the thread, white thread, back to the front of the eye, building a little bit of a body. And what I like to do is make a nice big white front head. That helps me see the fly underwater a little bit better. I seem to see white better than the black. So I'm going to build up a little bit of a white head here. Need a little bit more. Now it's time to tie in the hackle. So I'm going to go ahead and, this is the difficult part if you're tying the gourmet version, is I've cut both of these feathers about the same length, and I'm going to attempt to tie them in. I put the curved side down, and I'm going to go ahead and try to tie the two feathers in as best as I can. I go quite a few wraps backwards. I don't really trim that back feather hard part too much, so. And I'll kind of droop my bobbin down, get my hackle pliers. This is the difficult part, trying to get these both in at the hackle at the same time and being able to wrap. So we'll give this a shot. I put my finger and thumb here and I kind of try to point the hackle forward as best as I can. And I'll make my wraps like so. Bring my bobbin back up a little bit and see if I can tie in the back part here. There we go. And I don't do too much trimming of the back stuff. I think a bug that looks more beat up is attractive to fish. So sometimes I'll trim that off. Other times I'll just leave it. At this point, I think this back end looks actually kind of cool right now. So I'm going to stick with that back end looking like that. I want to get this a little bit more forward or Sakasa. So I'm going to grab the feathers, bring them back, and do a few wraps over the back side of this hackle. Make it a little bit more forward. And now I need to tie off this white because I'm now going to tie in some black thread. So I'm going to do a whip finish by hand. Make sure it's nice and tight. Snip that off. Now it's time to tie in some black thread for the butt. This is the pepper part. So I go in just a little behind. I like leaving some of the white behind the hackle. I think it makes the fly look pretty nice. Go ahead and cut off this tag end. And I'm going to go ahead and build a back of the body here with the black thread. Then I'll do a whip finish when all is said and done. There. So I'm going to go ahead and do a whip finish by hand. Make sure it's nice and tight. And normally I would put some glue there. Hopefully the fly is coming out pretty good in the video, but you can see dark butt, a little bit of white back there. If the fish is or trout's going after black or white, it sees that. It's got the black and white feathers, and the full shank of each of the feathers here is either white or black. So I kind of like the look of that a little bit more than just going with all white or all black. And that is the salt and pepper Sakasa Kebari. Thanks for watching.